Welcome to episode 40 of The Adventures of Two Gray Mice. Today we're going to be talking everything about travel insurance, why you need it, and when you need it. Hi, and welcome to The Adventures of Two Gray Mice. I'm Meg.
And I'm Rob.
And we are Two Gray Mice. Hi, everyone. I hope you're having a beautiful sunny day like we are here in New York. I feel like it's finally got no clouds in the sky and the sun shining because it has been rainy, like most Aprils are, I guess. So today we're going to talk about travel insurance. As travel advisor, I always recommend getting travel insurance. And many of my clients don't want to get it. They don't see the point. They're like, I have no intention of canceling. I have no intention of not going on this trip, which is usually very true. And usually travel insurance is something that you don't ever need, but it is also something you should probably have. Why? So what is travel insurance? Travel insurance is just like pretty much almost any other insurance. It's insuring you in case something happens while you're on vacation. Third-party travel insurance, which is what I always recommend, covers you from the moment you leave your house to the moment you get back to your house. Okay? If you get the insurance that comes with the cruise line or the airline, that's only covering you for while you're on the cruise, while you're flying, for those small bits and pieces. If you use a third party, like I use Travel Insured International, it covers you for all of it. And because this is what they do, and they have no vested interest in your trip, they can help you more. So what am I insuring myself against? Okay. What could possibly happen? I don't want to cancel my trip. It's my vacation. I want to go on it. So what else could I possibly do? Lost luggage? The luggage always comes back. Maybe I won't have it for a couple of days. Maybe I'll be inconvenienced. Do I really need the extra expense of travel insurance? And the rule of thumb is yes, unless you can financially take care of what may happen without it, the answer is yes. So what will it cover? What am I going to be financially responsible for? And what I tell my clients is, depending on the cost of their trip, how much money are you or can you lose if you have to cancel this trip or it gets canceled for you? And depending on what that number is, depends on whether you need insurance or not. If you're flying out of this country, I'm currently in the United States, or actually out of whatever your home country is, then yes, you should have travel insurance because whatever health insurance you have will not be accepted in whatever country you're going to. Same thing if you're going on a cruise. You're leaving the country and the cruise line is going to charge you if you have to be in the med bay for any period of time, or if they have to fly you off the ship to someplace else. Now, these are extreme cases, but it's why you need travel insurance. But what else is it going to cover? Okay, so the major things that travel insurance covers and why you need it. A missed flight. I missed my flight for a covered reason. And when you get your insurance policies, you usually have 10 to 14 days, depending on the state, to look over the insurance policy and decide if you're going to keep it. During that time period, you're going to read the entire list of covered reasons. Because what you might think is a covered reason is logical, the insurance company may not. So I missed my flight. I missed my flight because traffic was horrible. That's not a covered reason. I missed my flight because I was T-boned. That's a covered reason. I missed my flight because my flight out of New York was 4 hours delayed and I had a layover in Dallas, so I missed my layover. That's interrupted travel. That's covered. So what is that going to cover? Well, it's going to cover my meals while I'm in Dallas. It's going to cover a hotel room if it's more than 12 hours before my next flight. Travel interruption when your flight is canceled, or delayed and then delayed and delayed. And there's a time period, 6 hours, 12 hours before they'll to give you X, Y, or Z. But especially if you're in a foreign country or, just across the country, you want that insurance to help you get to wherever you need to get to. And they're very helpful also when you call them up or your travel agent to help you solve whatever problem it is. Um, Theft is covered. You usually have to call the police, and you have to have a police report, of serious amount of money or items. Lost luggage. This is where, depending on the policy you get, you may have a policy that will cover buying an outfit and some essentials because your baggage is delayed or is your baggage lost. And of course, the difference is, yeah, we know where your bags are. They went to Chicago and you went to Florida. Well, you're going to get the bag sooner or later. So they're going to cover a little bit of it, not all of it. If your luggage is gone, MIA, never to be seen again, then they cover something different. Lost passport. It was robbed, you just lost it, whatever the case may be. They're going to help you get another one to get you home. And they're also going to help you cover whatever you may have to cover while you're in that country. Trip cancellation or delay. You canceled it. There are many different reasons, from illness in your family, your own illness, injury, death. You lost your job. Your job all of a sudden is like, no, you can't take vacation. You're in the military and your leave was removed. Your trip has to be canceled. That is a covered reason. Um, Natural disasters, either where you're currently living or where you're going to. So if I'm in the middle of a hurricane here in New York, I can't get out. Well, first of all, my flight's going to be canceled. So that's going to be covered in itself. But let's say my home is destroyed or even partially destroyed. That's covered. I'm not going to fly into a hurricane either. That's going to be covered. So these are the reasons why you have travel insurance. Are these going to happen every time? No. Have I made claims on my travel insurance? Of course I have. Accidents. You slipped and falled and you broke your ankle while you're on the cruise ship. The med bay is going to charge you. Your health insurance is not going to come with you onto that cruise ship. It won't be covered. And U.S. health insurance policies and most policies from a country is not accepted in another country. They want the money up front before they treat you. The insurance company will help you with that. Many countries will not let you in without travel insurance. They want to know that you have travel insurance, so if something happens to you, you're covered. They don't want to have that risk of you ending up in their medical programs in their hospitals and you can't pay the bill, but yet, their options are to save you or let you die, whatever. Hopefully it's never that bad, but they insist on it. If you have a child, a college age child, and they're going to spend a year studying abroad, you have to have insurance for them. I had to buy insurance when my daughter studied in Italy for the year because they didn't want her to not have insurance. And we actually used it while she was there. She got the flu. I've used the travel insurance when almost huge storms come through the East Coast, actually starting in Detroit. And flights were just canceled and delayed, canceled and delayed, canceled and delayed. So mine got canceled. Well, I still needed to get out to California. So they helped me get on another flight. Well, that flight then got delayed in Colorado and I had to spend the night. So I ended up, it wasn't a great deal of money because I got out there and they helped me finagle everything, but I ended up filing a small claim for the time period that I was in Colorado, stuck there, you know? And luckily, my luggage managed to stay with me. I still don't know how. So, travel insurance is important. Like all insurance, it's by state in the United States. What you can get and what it covers is decided by state. So, I just did a quote today for state of New Jersey. And for the most part, because it's based on your age, because as we get older, we have more likely chance of being hospitalized, and the cost of your trip. It's usually between like 5 and 7% of the cost of your trip. So for this cruise, for this person I was going to, who's in their 60s, it was going to be there's 4 policies all the way from 201 to 310 for the state of New Jersey. One was a cruise policy that covers everything that is covered by all the other policies, but added some cruise specific things that she didn't really need because it's an ocean cruise. So a lot of that had to do with like river cruises. Like, is there enough water in the river for the river cruise to actually happen? You never know. And then she had 3 different levels of insurance, like the Rolls Royce of insurance, the average person, and then the need insurance and basic. We went with the middle of the road. She didn't need everything on the cruise. She didn't need, $100 million in health insurance. She's in very good health. So it's really just accident. She needed enough money on the health line to make sure if something did happen on board, there was money to get her off the ship. Simple. And you could shop around for this. Your travel advisor, like I always quote it for my clients. I have 2 companies I use. Travel Insured is my favorite. Alon's is the other one, also a very good company. But, and I tell them when I offer it to them, if you are a member of a union, AAA, they very often might have deals with other insurance companies that you can get a better rate for. Always shop around. It's insurance. Things to realize is what you think, like I said earlier, what you think is covered may not be covered, may be covered. Always read the covered reasons carefully and understand them. Pre-existing conditions exist. So if you have a pre-existing condition, that may remove it for being covered if you have to cancel for some reason. So I'm not really sure right off the top of my head. I can't think of one. But, look, God forbid I have lung cancer and I know it when I book my trip and I get travel insurance. That's going to be a pre-existing condition. So if it gets worse and I need to be in the hospital instead of going on vacation, it may not be covered. Cancel anytime. Usually you have to add, it's called CFAR, cancel for any reason. You usually have to add that within the first 20 days. And that means you can cancel your trip for any reason. It doesn't have to be a covered reason. It could be, your mother dresses you funny, whatever the case may be. You want to pick that. It adds probably another 3% on top of the bill. You can then cancel for any reason. You have to do it the first, usually 20 days after you put the deposit down, the first deposit down for your vacation, because they want to know that you weren't adding it because you already know that you're canceling, which makes sense. And what I mean by first deposit, I have clients, they wanted to do Disney World and they wanted to do a cruise. The cruises were already for sale. So we found the cruise they wanted and we booked it. But the Disney World stays had not gone on sale yet. They went on sale like 2 months later. Her first deposit for her vacation was not the Disney World one. It was the cruise one. So it has to be 21 days within the first installment. So, I mean, you really need travel insurance. And my rule of thumb is if it's over $2,000, if it's a cruise to anywhere or to any other country, it's required. You have to get it because you can't afford not to. And it's not enough money, the most part, as you get older, it can be, to be prohibitive, to make it so you can't afford to do it. If you travel a lot, many companies will have annual plans that are kind of less expensive because, if you travel 2 or 3 times a year and you can add things to that annual plan. So like, I have the annual plan and I'm going on a cruise. So I'm going to add like a cruise rider just to that one trip and just to pay a little extra. It's a great little thing. Like I said, it covers you from the moment you leave to the moment you get home. So if you get T-boned on the way down or T-boned on the way back. If you're in a foreign country and you rent a car, your car insurance, where you can have that car rental rider on your insurance, at least in New York you can. So when I rent a car, I don't have to take their insurance. In a foreign country, you can't do that. Your car insurance isn't gonna cover you. So but your travel insurance will. Your travel insurance is gonna cover you. It's just logical. I mean, it's not something that people think of, and when they do think of it, they're like, "You know, if my trip is delayed, I'll be fine. If my luggage is lost, I'll be fine." But how much is fine? And, you never know what's gonna happen. Uh, in my organization, in the curated travel collection, and talking to people, I've heard I've had I have heard stories of clients who had major medical issues while in Hawaii and had to have surgery, but they had to come home to have it. So they were leaving early. They needed a medical flight. Um, they broke their leg while on a cruise and they had to be, helicoptered to the nearest hospital, which is now in a foreign country, and you have to pay for the helicopter. So for anywhere from two to, $600, depending on how much money you're spending, it's just worth it. I know that so many people don't even think about it, and to be completely and 100% honest with you, I never thought about it until I actually became an insurance agent. Uh, for about 3 years of my life, I was a, financial advisor. I was licensed in the state of New York and New Jersey to sell travel insurance, life insurance, health insurance, mutual funds, all that stuff. More because I worked as like a client liaison with a group of agents, then I was selling it, but I had to understand it all, and I had to be able to help file claims and things like that. And as people came in with their problems, I realized, what am I doing? I'm just, I'm leaving my life out there, and I've got 2 kids, and something happens to me. You need as much as you can get to help your family, right? No one wants to think about that, but it's true. Unfortunately, it's true. So the next time you go on vacation, please, please, please talk to your travel advisor, whether it's me or someone else or no one, okay? And get the insurance. If you are a Costco travel person, Costco sells travel insurance from a third party that will cover you from door to door. AAA, like I said, door to door. Uh, that's what you need. That's what you want. You, it's just not worth not having travel insurance. And too many times I have heard nightmares of people not having it. And just think about, your flight's delayed and you're going to have to get a hotel room. It's no longer another expense. Yes, it is, but then it's covered and you get your money back. And it just takes a little bit of the stress off your shoulders of having to worry about it. So, I'm getting ready to go on my cruise in July to Alaska. It's in Alaska. It's part of this country, right? Shouldn't worry about it. Well, we'll be going back and forth between Canadian waters and US waters. We'll be stopping in Canada. My insurance is not accepted in Canada. And God forbid something happens while we're on board and we need to be helicoptered off. Because we're also going to be in Alaska. You can't get to Sitka and Ketchikan anyway besides boat and plane. So, if I need something when I'm even in Sitka and, it's a severe emergency, I may be getting on a plane and going someplace. So please look at travel insurance. Like I said, my favorite is Travel Insured International, followed by, Allianz. Allianz? I don't know how to pronounce that. Allianz. Anything that ends in Z, I have problems with. I'm not really sure. But anyway, please, please, please get insurance. Take care of yourselves. Your travel advisor should be able to help you. Your credit card insurance is 95% of the time not good enough. It's not going to cover enough. There are some credit cards out there that do cover, like I think the Venture X has excellent travel insurance, and one of the American Express cards, probably the Platinum. But also, if you're qualifying for the Platinum, you probably also can afford to lose the $2,000. So 6 of one, half dozen of another. That's all I have for this week. Thank you for listening. Please, wherever you are listening, leave us a rating or review. It helps get the word out about our little tiny show here. If you have any questions or concerns or would like to plan a vacation, you can reach out to us at the number 2, graymice@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at 2, Gray Mice Podcast. On TikTok, it is Gray Mice Travel. Have a great day, guys. Enjoy the week. Take care.
Bye-bye.